All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started, even though people might be joining us as we go. Thank you so much for attending this spring exhibitor meeting, even on short notice. Now, normally this meeting is mostly about the exhibitors, and we're going to do that, but I also want to have a couple of other presenters talk to us about the new things that we have planned for Pittcon. So as you probably know, there are two convention centers in Boston. There's the Hines and the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center, the BCEC. We will be in the BCEC in the Seaport District. We are delighted to be going to Boston for the first time ever. It was just rated the #1 US destination for meetings. It's home to 45 colleges and universities, many of which are among the highest ranked and funded in the United States. It is the biotech hub in the world with over 1,000 biotech and life science companies. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the seaport in general. I attended a meeting in the Seaport District at the BCEC when it first opened about 20 years ago. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, this place has so much potential for future growth. Fast forward all these years, I was named president for Pittcon of 25, and my husband and I went on vacation up to Boston to scope things out. And the Seaport is electrifying. There are so many hotels within walking distance, tons of trendy restaurants. It's truly the place to be in the city of Boston, and we're so excited to go there. This is our 2025 schedule. We're going to have short courses from Saturday through Tuesday. Our technical program conference will go Sunday through Wednesday. We're going to do Expo Monday through Wednesday. And I will make a note here, due to very popular demand, we're bumping the show time to start at 10. So we'll be going 10 to 5, 10 to 5, and 10 to 3. And then we're going to have our epic Pittcon party on Tuesday night. Speaking of the Pittcon party, it is going to be at the Museum of Science in Boston. There's lots of cool exhibits. We have the Theater of Electricity, where somebody's going to get electrocuted. They have a 4D theater and OmniMax. And just like in San Diego, we think this is going to be a very popular sold out event for attendees and exhibitors alike. We're very pleased to announce that we're completely revamping our website. This is just a taste of what's to come. We're currently working on a completely new architecture in the background. And the main goal of this is to make the website more user-friendly and easier to navigate for our visitors. So again, I said it's mostly about the exhibition, but we're going to sprinkle in some of my key committee members to talk here. And I'm going to turn things over to Corey Gerheim, our conference planner, and Dr. Brad Davis, my technical program chair for 2025.
Okay, thank you, Heather, and good afternoon, everyone. Just like to talk about a few things here about the conference to really highlight what the technical program has to offer to everyone that's serving as exhibitors. Now, we know that oftentimes the tech program is considered more the academic side of the conference, but it's not meant to be that way, and we certainly want to see you all involved in the technical program as well. Because not only is it advantageous for you all to be able to network with some of your potential customers, but also to our attendees to be able to network with you all and help solve problems that we're looking to help contribute to with the Pittcon. So the conference itself, the technical program, is primarily composed of the program itself with the presentations, posters, and whatnot. But we also offer short courses that your employees might find interesting, as well as the networking roundtables and workshops that really give the ability for your attendees, your exhibitors to network with one another there. So in terms of the technical program itself, you can see the broken down sections there on the right-hand side there. Awards are our most prestigious sections there. The ones that might be more applicable to exhibitors here, our symposia are our most competitive type of sessions. There's about 36 of them across the whole conference and all the different tracks. These are going to be high-profile sessions, and we've had exhibitors in the past give these to attendees. And we don't want it to be a sales pitch per se, but we want you to be able to sell the science that you're doing to really attract attendees to you on the floor there. There's also going to be contributed sessions as well. So it's tier slightly below that is the symposium, but where you're still able to organize a session on whatever science you might be interested in or your company might be doing. The oral sessions there are more one-off. It will, if you have an employee that's interested in presenting, we can group them with like-minded people to help drive those conversations as well. And then posters also are a great way to showcase some of the work that your scientists are doing to drive some more networking on on the expo floor itself where the posters are housed. Our technical program tracks there, you might recall last year we realigned and refocused these a little bit. I won't read all the descriptions there, but you can see the icons on the left-hand side. Obviously, our bioanalytical and life science track is our major following for the conference there. But we're continuing to try to get more and more people into cannabis and psychedelics there, the instrument energy, instrumentation, nanoscience, pharmaceuticals, and biologics as well. In addition to the professional development one that's relatively new, just coming out last year, we're continuing to try to promote the growth of that one. And we think that our culture lecture this year will do a really good job of bringing all this together. With that being said, our culture lecturer is Dr. Cato Lorenzen from the University of Connecticut, where he focuses on regenerative engineering. And not only does he drive the science behind that, but he's also an entrepreneur that we hope is going to be able to share a really good story of the work that he's done and how he's presented that'll tie in well to the community up in the Boston area. So if you would be interested in yourself or a colleague being in the technical program there, we are going to have an interactive planning session here about mid-May. Just to help, you can see there, gain an understanding of those tracks in a little bit more detail. We'll walk through them and what they apply to. We'll talk about actually the proposal process, how you submit abstracts. And then again, we'll kind of just refocus on why the importance of this and why we want you all exhibitors being part of that technical program to help connect with the community at large there. Just a few important dates that, again, we'll reiterate at that planning session. You can see there, we've already had the call for symposia, for invited symposia open now. General calls will be going out on June 1st as well, in addition to some of the other ones that you can see there for general abstracts, networking roundtables, and anything along those lines. So with that, I'll go ahead and hand that off to Employment Services here. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you, Heather. So I am Josh Imperator. I am one of the co-chairs for the Employment Services at Pittcon 2025 in Boston. I just wanted to be very brief and bring up a couple of new things that we're planning this year. So we brought back Employment Services this past year at Pittcon 2024 in San Diego, and we will be working on improving those services and with a new interface and things like that. But some other activities that we are trying to implement this year are listed here on the screen. So on Sunday from 1 to 3 p.m., all of these times are tentative, but they should stay the same. So on Sunday, we're planning on doing a resume review for attendees. Anyone can attend and get their resume or CV reviewed. On Monday, we plan on doing a LinkedIn bar. So attendees can come and meet with people who are, much better than some of us at creating a LinkedIn profile that's going to really gain attention and set you down the right path for finding a job. And then on Tuesday, we plan on doing a pitch pit, which essentially is going to be a mini version of like a Shark Tank where people can come and present ideas, research opportunities, things like that. And we'll have a panel that will sit and judge these different ideas. And so basically the reason that we want to include this here is that we will be looking for volunteers from you exhibitors. And if anyone would like to participate in the resume review, the LinkedIn bar, or the Pittcon pitch pit, we will mention the companies that are involved as a sponsor or participant in the events. And some of these details are going to be ironed out as we move forward, but it's just something that I wanted to bring up really briefly today, just kind of get it in everyone's mind that these are some new events that we will be holding, and we are going to be looking for volunteers if anyone would like to participate.
Thanks so much, Josh. We appreciate it. And I don't know if people know this, but I got my job at Pittcon when I was a senior at the University of Pittsburgh. So the Employment Center is very near and dear to my heart. So, and we know your HR departments are already going to be there. So hopefully they can participate in the resume review. Moving on, we know that our attendees want the traditional trade show experience, but now more than ever, they want fun things, engaging things, both on the floor and in the evenings. So to address the needs of our current attendees, we've designed the Attendee Experience Committee, and Rose Clark and Ed Zavinka are the co-chairs of this, and they're not able to be here today, but I wanted to give a taste of some of the things that they're talking about. Attendees want focused, track-specific networking opportunities, and we're going to facilitate those on the show floor to keep people going to the floor. As I said, the seaport's electrifying. There are so many things to do nearby for restaurant, dine-arounds, pub crawls, and Ed and Rose are currently talking to Putt Shack and the F1 Flight Dart Club and the F1 Arcade to do fun things in the evenings with our attendees. And I'm not going to steal any future thunder, but you will notice some cute puppies in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. So now I'd like to invite Mark Hubert, our 2025 Expo and Marketing Chair, and Tim Ellison, our new Exposition Manager, to the podium to speak.
All right. Thank you, Heather. Appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. At this point in our presentation, we'd like to just kind of give you an overview of the new floor plan in Boston. We'll be in halls A and B. So let's take a look at that. If you notice to the right, we have the registration area that comes in on north entrance. And that'll be on meeting level 1. Once you check in, you'll be able to take one of the 2 escalators down to the show floor. And from there, up the main aisle here, leading up to Pittcon Central, the focal point of the show, we have actually, sorry about that. We actually have like a cross design. So the main aisle will go all the way through Pittcon Central to the back of the hall. And then we also have a eastern entrance down here at the bottom of the screen. And there are a lot of hotels to the left. So once you are registered, you'll be able to come in through the east entrance. So when you're thinking about booth placement, that might be something that you want to consider, depending on what's available at the time of your choosing. We have a few new things on the floor plan for Boston. We have a networking lounge. So the 6 different tracks that we present will have a place in the exhibitor lounge. It'll be a 10 by 30 space for each group. So you can go there and talk about whatever topic that you're interested in. In the back of the hall, we have a new lifestyle area. So we're going to have Pittcon puppies, as Heather mentioned. And that's a place where you can just go and hang out and pet a puppy for a little bit to de-stress. They will also be available for adoption. So that's exciting. Also back there, we're going to have a marketplace. So if people want to sell retail goods from a booth space, there is a place for them to do that where it won't be distracting on the show floor. Also in the back corner to the right or to the top left, the Pittcon Cafe. This year, we're going to be introducing food trucks to the event. So you'll be able to get different varieties of food there and then eat to the left, to below that, I'm sorry, for a seating area. For some reason, we're missing some text on there, but nonetheless, there's a couple other things we're going to be bringing back this year. We're bringing back the Lego races. So you'll be able to go to the park and build a Lego car and race that down the track. We still have the lab gauntlet and also the demo zone in the other parks. So that being said, this kind of gives you an idea of what the flow is like and how the floor is laid out. Next, I want to go over some important dates for you that we'll be sending this information out to you, and it will be available on the site as well. But just some newer things I'd like to point out. First of all, this Wednesday, May 1st at 10 a.m., you'll be able to select your booth. Full payment is due upon reservation, so you will be asked to make that payment during the reservation. Friday, September 13th is the last day for a 75% refund on your booth space or seminar room. It's also the last day to cancel a sponsorship without a fee. So you want to keep an eye on dates like that. Exhibitor booth staff and corporate guest registration opens on October 1st. And October 14th, the exhibitor services manual will be available to you, so you can start ordering furniture from GES at that time. We have some other refund deadlines. November 15th is the last day that you can get a 50% refund on your rooms, your booth space. It's also the last day to cancel a sponsorship with just a 50% fee. After that, there's no refunds on your sponsorships. And then December 13th, it's the last day for a 25% refund on your space or seminar room. No refunds will be issued after December 13th. So that's a hard deadline on if you need to make any changes to your booth space or a seminar room. And the certificates of insurance will be due January 17th. And then when we hit March 1st, that's the first day to register and pick up your badges. And the show itself, as was explained earlier, is going to be Monday, March 3rd from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday, March 4th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then Wednesday, March 5th is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And also new this year is Wednesday, March 5th will be free expo only. So if there are people that you'd like to bring in to meet with you, that's a good day to plan on that. So keep that aside. There's some GES deadlines. January 27th is the first day you can send items to the advanced warehouse. And the 7th is a deadline for discounted pricing on carpet and furniture and so forth. And then exhibitor move-in begins 8 a.m. on February 26th. So now I'll talk a little bit about the booth ordering process. Again, May 1st for all exhibitors, booth sales will be open. And again, please note that full payment is due for booth sales at the time of reservation. What's different this year is due to a limitation in our software, we can't hold a spot for you as you go through the registration process. So you'll do that at the very end. Just to remind you, we do have 2 booth packages as we did last year. Booth space and package included prices are here. So for a 10 by 10, it'll be $5,050. And that includes your standard carpet for the booth, a 6-foot draped table, 2 contour side chairs, 1 wastebasket, and a 5-amp electrical drop. All packages include electric this year. 10 by 20 is basically the same for $9,900, but everything is doubled except for your electrical drop. So the very first thing you're going to see is you'll be asked to put in the square footage of what you're looking for. You could choose 100, 200, or 300 to 500 square feet, 600 square feet. Please contact me and I'll help you get that reserved online. So the booth packages, again, as stated previously, we have 2. So booth space is $3,800 for 10 by 10, and then you'll have a $1,250 addition for booth package for a 10 by 10 and $2,300 for the 10 by 20. So the next thing you'll need to pick is your digital promotion package. And sometimes this gets overlooked, but this is where you're going to choose what you put on your company information page. You can list products on there that are going to be searchable on the site. And so leaving this not filled in or empty is akin to leaving your booth unstaffed on the Pittcon exposition floor. So it's really not something that you want to do. So there are different options that I'm going to show you here. The basic package, it'll give you 2 products and services that you can add. This is of no charge to you. So at the very least, you can get 200 characters of your company description. You get your company logo up there and your company name, address, email, and so forth. A little tip, if you want to make a note, is whatever you use for the email address is what everyone is going to use to reach out to you. So if you don't want a personal email, just put one in for info at, which would eliminate any personal messages, especially if there's scammers and so forth. So, but as you move up the line, package A, B, and C, you get additional characters to describe the company. If you have any additional companies co-exhibiting with you, it'll give you more opportunity to put information about them in as well. And you also get additional products and services that you can add. Next would be sponsorships, and we'll get into that shortly with Colleen. She'll tell you all about the new, fresh, exciting sponsorship opportunities available. Next, if you are going to have a hanging banner above your booth, there is a fee for that, and that fee is to allow you to have advertising space above your booth. Rigging charges would be separate. We also have seminar rooms. The BCEC does not allow ceilings in these rooms, so there will be without ceiling for $7,500. You get that for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of the expo. And then we have the different booth configurations. The standard would be 1 or 2 booths in line. Multiple standard is 3 or more booths in line. Peninsula would be 2 sets or 2 or more booths back to back. So it would actually be a 20 by 20 booth. Cross aisle, you'd have 2 sets of booths across the aisle from one another. And of course, the island is 10 booths or more for 1,000 square feet minimum, although there is an upgrade fee to have a smaller island. And if you look at the floor plan, there are also some natural islands there that you can choose without a fee. So if you like a larger space, but a small island, that's a good place to check out. And of course, our refund policy will be in here as well. You'll see all this information as you go through the registration process. And also the payment information will be there. You can pay by credit card, which is a preferred method, but also you can choose the option of check or wire transfer. And we have our updated address here as well for you as we've moved within the last year. Lastly, you'll go over your order review. This will list everything that's in your cart so you can check it. It'll have pricing in there as well. And then finally a summary, and you'll make the purchase of your booth space. And now we'll turn it over to Mark Hubert.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again today. I just want to go over some of the things that will be happening to help drive attendees to the floor this year. If who's ever controlling the slides can go to the next slide, I'd appreciate it. 2 for things. So there we go. So sort of the 2 main things we have on the floor are the Pittcon Parks and Pittcon Central. For the Pittcon Parks this year, which as sort of Tim showed on his layout of the floor, there's going to be 2 of those here. A couple things we're going to have there. First off, we are looking at Pittcon Puppies. So sort of a little bit of a therapeutic spot right there. Also possibly some adoption stuff going on there. And as I go through these, one thing I forgot to mention, these are all works in progress. So this is our plan. Things might change as we go through also. One thing that we have heard from a lot of people that they loved about Pittcon several years ago was our Lego car races. So we are looking at bringing those back to the expo floor also, and hopefully trying on the last day to have maybe an exhibitor competition going on with the Lego car racers too. So more information, but that will be coming. The Lab Gauntlet will be coming back. That has been a crowd favorite for many of years now. Ideally, we're trying to have 2 Lab Gauntlets this year, but having at least one of those Lab Gauntlets. A selfie corner. We know social media is a huge thing nowadays, so trying to find a place for some selfies with some special banners and signage there for backgrounds for everybody. some Pittcon lawn games, so like cornhole, Connect Four, Jenga, things like that, to help drive people into those areas. And then potentially some t-shirt printing also here. That's sort of the big one that's sort of our sort of pie in the sky right now that we're trying to work through. In Pittcon Central, as always, we're promoting the following year's Pittcon. So in 2025, we're in Boston. In 2026, we're exploring a new city again, just like Boston. So we'll be in San Antonio. So we'll be helping to promote San Antonio, some promotion going on for that. Another big crowd favorite is the Headshot Lounge. So that'll be back. And then also we have an interactive Lego mural that'll be coming also to that area. And we'll have a mini Pittcon store too. Two things that'll be sort of going on everywhere. One of the big things we're looking forward to is a virtual scavenger hunt for people to do. So we'll be finding different activities for individuals to do to help earn points with different prizes. We're just going to help promote Pittcon, help promote the expo floor, help promote pretty much everything going on with Pittcon, and then also through social media too. So that's something that we're really excited for. And then another big thing we have heard from a lot of feedback from a lot of vendors or exhibitors is the Pittcon Passport. And a lot of people love the Pittcon Passport. We also heard about the Pittcon Bingo card. We're going to focus on the Pittcon Passport this year. So we're looking at bringing that back. Once again, there'll be a sponsorship that I'm sure Colleen Ellison will be talking about here going forward too. So lots of great things going on the expo floor. A lot of great things to keep the attendees on the floor. So we're looking forward to a wonderful time in Boston. And with that being said, I am going to hand it over to Colleen Ellison. Talk about the next step.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. My name is Colleen Ellison. I'm the Client Relations and Acquisitions Manager here at Pittcon, and I'm new to Pittcon, and I'm very excited to let you know that I've recently refreshed the sponsorships, and they are going to be sponsorships that will give you added value as you participate in Pittcon. So our first sponsorship that I'd like to speak to you about is an immersive sponsorship, and it is a custom coffee cafe, and it's located just right outside of the exhibition registration area for Pittcon in Boston for 2025. And this will be an excellent opportunity. It's a one-shot deal, so it's kind of a first come, first serve. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a taste, so to speak, of the sponsorship. We will have coffee artists there, latte artists there to help design your logo in coffee, which is really nice. And I think that's something that would be social media worthy and get a lot of attention. We're also excited to be offering Pittcoins this year. Pittcoins are going to be used as a form of show currency, and that's something that can be customized as well. The coins themselves can have your logo on the back. Finally, being in one of the techiest places in the world, the BCEC will give us the opportunity to offer you a Wi-Fi sponsorship. And this is amazing because you will be able to have a splash page and a URL landing page as well. So that would be a wonderful sponsorship opportunity. As you enter the Boston Convention Center, you're going to notice a massive wall. It's called the video wall. It's 160 feet wide and 10 feet tall. This is an excellent positioning point for you if you want to make sure the attendees know where you're at. This wall can't be missed. Obviously, it's quite large. As Heather had mentioned, we're going to be celebrating with a Pittcon party at the Museum of Science. And there are several wonderful opportunities here to create a sponsorship. One of my favorite that I want to bring to your attention is the T-Rex exhibit. In the T-Rex exhibit, you can have the T-Rex sport some of your logoed clothing from your company, hold a sign in his hands, and we can completely deck out that exhibit to meet your needs and goals. There's also a theater of electricity show that'll be going on while you're at the Boston Museum of Science. And this show can also be a sponsorship that I can tailor for you. Keep in mind, just like last year, you can do a custom cocktail or mocktail if you'd prefer. And we also will be able to offer you a bar sponsorship. So just some things to get your head spinning a little bit and moving in the right direction. One thing that we've done, and it's been well received, we started this with Pittcon in San Diego, were custom sponsorships for celebration packages. So whether you're celebrating an anniversary or a special event or retirement, we certainly can help you do that in style in Boston. We also are going to be able to offer meet, greet, and more packages. If you want to entertain, as Tim had mentioned, we will be opening the show floor from 10 to 5. So you'll have a nice window from 8 to 10 in which we can do a breakfast for you and some of your invited guests, or perhaps you want to do something after your event, we can also offer that, perhaps a bar or something on the floor post your 5 o'clock responsibilities there. So I'll be happy to work with you on any of this. If you don't see anything here that you're looking for, you can always reach out to me. I'll be happy to design something within your budget that'll meet your needs and get you noticed at Pittcon. So thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Heather.
Thank you, Colleen. Switching out some camera issues here. Never a dull moment at our office. So just to reiterate what we've heard so far, the important things that are sort of off the exposition theme of this is because your HR people are already coming to Pittcon, we want them to have first crack at the resume. So if anybody can participate in resume review with us, we'd greatly appreciate it. Same with the LinkedIn bar and the pitch pit. And we really do want to encourage you to bring your customers to Pittcon and be part of the program with them. I just want to make people aware of some of the exhibitor resources. First and foremost, we have started a new exhibitor focus group. We have Janine Campbell from Xylem, Nikki Janis from Fritsch, Ken Ochi from Confiance, Maureen Caranta from Shimatsu, Alicia Stell from CEM, and Rochelle Marino from JAI Consulting. This group meets several times a year with key committee members from Pittcon and the staff. And the goal is to mentor our smaller and newer exhibitors so they can make the most of their Pittcon experience. We also collectively share best practices and experiences from other trade shows to bolster our attendee experience committee. And the biggest thing is we work collaboratively to strategize maximizing ROI, return on excitement and emotion, and objectives. The feedback from the exhibitor survey would indicate that a lot of people aren't familiar with the ESRC, or the Exhibitor Success and ROI Center. And I just want to put this on people's radar. Pittcon works with Jefferson Davis at Competitive Edge, and he offers about $15,000 worth of resources to us for free to make a better Pittcon for everybody. This involves webinars that are up on the website. He has planning exercises and downloadable tools that are available depending on what stage of the trade show planning you're in. He writes articles. We have a direct conduit to Jefferson. We can ask him questions. And we also do live webinars. We're going to do one for sure. And if you're interested, we can do more. Speaking of webinars, we have some planned that we're waiting to finalize dates on, but we want to do a GES portal training with both GES staff and Pittcon staff. I know I love the Seaport District, but I want the Meet Boston folks to tell you why they love the Seaport District and where you should be planning your after hours events. Both the BCEC and GES are going to have a webinar on work rules, labor rules, and arbitration, so everybody has a smooth experience there. And our focus group is going to do an insider tips and tricks presentation later. If you have other webinar suggestions, especially from Jefferson Davis, please feel free to drop them in the chat. And if you're in the chat chatting and you have questions, now's a good time to do those as well. As we come to a close with this portion of the webinar, I just want to tell you thank you so much. Many of the volunteers for Pittcon have been around for decades because we fiercely believe in the mission of science outreach and education, and we're able to have this huge impact on future scientists because of your support of Pittcon. So for that, we thank you so much for being a part of us. And with that, we want to conclude by saying we'll see you in Boston. And there's a couple questions that came in through the chat. So I'm going to invite Colleen and Tim to come up and be here with me.
Okay, so the question is, if you choose one of the packages for a booth, are you able to upgrade your carpet and electrical for a smaller fee, or are there no substitutions? No, you can absolutely upgrade. There will be an additional fee through GES, but yes, you can do that.
One of the questions was, will booth selection be by seniority status this year?
Okay, another question was, will booths
Selection.
selection be by seniority status? This year it was 50 years and above. So everybody, the booth selection will be open to everybody else on this Wednesday at 10 a.m. So there will be no emails going out selecting a time unless you want 600 square feet and above. And it would be first come, first serve. So the sooner you get on, the sooner you'll pick space that you like. So this is how it was run last year as well. Another question, do we need to pay immediately after we submit our booth registration, or can I choose the package I want and pay together? It's a good question. The booth space itself is, we'll wait for Tammy to chime in here.
Another question.
Another question, will you be sending today's slide deck to all attendees?
I can answer that. We did record the webinar and we do intend on putting it up on the website, and we're happy to share it with you.
Not sure what happened to the next message, but last year during open reservation process, selected booths were sold out by the time we get to the final step of the reservation process. Has this been resolved to allow selected booth to be held until the reservation process is completed? No, the very last step in your registration process is to select your booth. So you'll choose your booth space. You'll choose if you want a digital promotion package. Also, if you want a booth package, if it's a 10 by 10 or a 10 by 20, that'll give you the table, the chairs, the carpet, the waste paper basket, and so forth. So I hope that answers your question, but our software doesn't have the capability of holding that all the way through the registration process. So we do need you to do that as your very last step to choose your booth. And that's the same for everybody across the board. So no one's going to be holding the booth over you until they get finished. They have to go through the same process that you do.
Another question. You can pay immediately after you submit it,
Okay.
or when I choose the package, I want to pay it better. And we said you need to pay immediately after you register.
You pay for your booth space immediately after you register, but you can add your package on at a later time and make an additional payment. And again, feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. We'll be happy to talk with you one-on-one and help you get the best place for you and also the best package to fit your needs.
Okay, thank you so much, everybody. And thank you for attending and your support of Pittcon. And we are wicked excited to see you in Boston. Thank you so much.